से उजाला है, तुम्हारे साथ का अनुभव बड़ा निराला है।
सब माताएं जानती मैं हाथ क्या उठवाऊं। कैसे परिवार में रहते हो। बाबा कहते देखो तुम इस समय सब ब्रह्मा बाबा जो हम सभी की बड़ी माँ है। बाबा अपने को ब्रह्मा बाप भी कहलाता, तो फिर ब्रह्मा बाबा अपने को बड़ी माँ भी कहता। तो हम सभी बड़ी माँ ब्रह्मा बाबा के बच्चे बैठे हैं या बच्चियां बैठी है। तो हम कहती देखो माताएं कितनी बड़ी सिक्की लदी हो, जो ब्रह्मा बाबा है फिर भी ब्रह्मा बाबा कहते मैं तो तुम ब्रह्मा बच्चों की माँ हूँ माँ। तो ब्रह्मा माँ है हमारी माँ, और तुम भी माता है ब्रह्मा बाबा की प्यारी माताएं हो, अथवा कहें ब्रह्मा माँ की मुख संतान माताएं ब्रह्मा कुमारियां बैठी हो। और ब्रह्मा कुमार, ब्रह्मा कुमारियां उनको कहा जिन्हों को ब्रह्मा बाबा ने मुख द्वारा रचा है। और फिर कहते हो ब्रह्मा माँ, एक ब्रह्मा माँ है एक ब्रह्मा बाप भी है, तो शिव बाबा भी है। ऐसे हम सभी है बेहद बाप दादा की कौन पवित्र ब्रह्मा कुमारियां। ब्रह्मा कुमारियां माना ही पवित्र, ब्रह्मा कुमार माना ही पवित्र। तो आप सभी पवित्र माताएं कहें या पवित्र सच्ची सच्ची योगिनियां कहें, योगी 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 योगिनियां हो। योगी नाम तो कहीं के होते, पर आप सभी योगी हो जिन्हों के दिल में एक बाप दूसरा न कोई।
निराली शान है, दिल तख्त पर हमें रख लिया, खुद से ऊंचा मान देकर नाम दिल पर लिख लिया। ताज तख्त और तिलक की हमको अमर जागीर दी, ताज तख्त और तिलक की हमको अमर जागीर दी। जिंदगी जीने की हमको एक नई तदबीर दी, आपने बाबा हमें।
Om Shanti. Have love for solitude and imbibe unity and concentration. Constantly be free from wasteful and sinful thoughts. Unity and concentration are the two most elevated arms for achieving success in every task. Concentration means to be free from waste and sinful thoughts. Where there is unity and concentration, success is the garland around your neck. The bestower of blessings loves the word one, Ek. Be faithful to one, Ek Vrata. Have one strength and faith in one, Ek Bal, Ek Bharosa. As well as this, follow the directions of one, Ek Mat. Do not follow the dictates of yourself or others, but become stable and constant, Ek Ras. There should be no interest in other people or in possessions. The same applies for unity, Ekta, and for having love for solitude, Ekant Priya. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakt Parivar. Today's day 5. Have love for solitude and imbibe unity and concentration. Today's topic: constantly be free from wasteful and sinful thoughts. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Everyone happy? Yes, wherever you are. Baba keeps us all at different places so that we can be instrument for service. Right? But we are one big family. I really like the point which Baba was speaking, Avyakt Borle, that Mama was number one, became number one. Because she didn't have even in subtle I and mine. And she had one slogan that whatever Baba says, whatever direction and word, yeah. So we all want to be number one, right? You all want to be successful. So follow Baba, Mama, right? Baba was number one, Mama became number one. Then Vardadi Prakashmani number one, right? So it's so interesting that all these points are from Murli, and we hear Murli, but in Avyakti signal, just one point is taken at a time. And then we churn on that point. We make practices. It's so subtle and very, very powerful. Baba is describing unity and concentration in many different ways. So, but today Baba is saying that you have to be free from wasteful thinking, but also negative or vicious. It's not sinful necessary, but our mind should be free from that. So if you pay attention, no wasteful thoughts, which Brahma Baba was example by saying nothing new, move forward, right? So constantly be free from wasteful and sinful thoughts. So Baba is saying that unity and concentration are, Baba says, that two most elevated arms for achieving success in every thought, every task. Concentration means to be free from waste and from vicious thoughts. When there is unity and concentration, success is the garland around the neck. So Baba says, the bestower of blessings likes the word Ek Vrata, that is just belonging to one, and be faithful in one. Baba says, have one strength and faith in one. One strength, one faith in one. As this, follow the directions of one, that is Shrimat. Do not follow the dictates of yourself or others, but become stable and consistent, ekras. There should be an interest. There should be no interest in other people or in any possessions. The same applies to unity, ekta, and having, Baba says, have the solitude, that is just be with one. So it's just be with one. That is our honesty in relationship with God. Om.
Om Shanti. So, how was your concentration? I bet it was 100%, right? So this is how we get to test our concentration. So today's signal is a very special signal for me because there are two things that help me in my remembrance, and I call them alignment or trajectory. Trajectory is a kind of a flow, and each point is allowing for the flow of something. And so one that I always use, even at the UN, as our expertise, is awareness, attitude, vision, action. But the other that I use for particularly remembrance is this trajectory of Ek. And so today I want to engage Sister Mohini in these words that Baba has used and how they are so important to align so that our remembrance of Baba becomes one of unity. Because that's what yoga is, right? Yoga, Raj Yoga is this unifying principle of connecting to one and remembering one. And you need concentration, ekagrata for that, right? So, Sister Mohini, Baba talked about unity, ekta, and then he talked about concentration, ekagrata. That you've been talking about every day for this month. But today he used the word Ek Vrata. Could you tell us how Ek Vrata connects to unity and concentration?
Remembrance of one is possible when there is love for one. And Ek Vrata, actually there is the word Pati Vrata. And then Baba also says Pita Vrata. Vrit is actually the promise which you make So basically, at the time of wedding, they both take the oath that I will remain honest, I will always remain yours, I will always. It's like that relationship, unadulterated relationship with one. And so that's what Baba wants. It's not every time we go to Baba and then say, Baba, help this one, Baba, open the lock of my husband, do this. It's always, so it's not Ek Vrata actually, because you remember Baba, and then whatever Baba has to do, we just have good wishes. But when we take request to Baba, Baba smiles because you're bringing another soul while remembrance. These few days I had been really thinking about it, Lord, that I have to remember Baba. So there are so many issues. And yesterday I just thought, let Baba do what he has to do. Let drama play as it is. And I will only remember Baba. So suddenly I found that my intellect is only with one. So it's a human being or a situation or desires, anything which comes doesn't keep us into that stage of Ek Vrata. That means I promise that I will remember you alone. So that's actually, it's a very deep thing, but that's what I understand. And I had been really practicing to bring that kind of ekta and Ek Vrata. And I find that not only you remain light, but you really feel that God's task is God has to do it. But then also realization came yesterday, but I have to maintain my stage to be Ek Vrata. And of course, that will be solitude, or that will be, any stage, incorporeal or angelic, or whichever stage I want to be, and then connect with one Baba. So I had been practicing this a lot.
So the Ek Vrata and the Ek Ras will be very much connected, but also, this was very interesting what you said. Ek Vrata means I am committed to the vows of turning to only one Baba. It's like the marital vows, these vows that cannot be broken. There cannot be infidelity in these vows. I can't even think of someone else. I would break the vow. And so that is clear. So therefore, if there's Ek Vrata, only then can I have Ek Bal and Ek Bharosa. So because the promise is, if there's an issue, the Ek Vrata is, I turn to one. And in turning to one, I get strength and I get support from that one. They have translated Bharosa as faith, but I think it's more support. So I get the strength and the support from one.
Support, or it could be trust.
Trust. So could you talk about that without the Ek Vrata, I wouldn't get the Bal and the Bharosa from Baba?
See, from the path of bhakti, we have this habit of always, going to God for some fulfillment of desires or a request, but this whole thing of that, it's not by asking, it's not by telling Baba that you are going to get strength, but it is what I have to maintain, is this my love for one Baba, my 100% trust in one Baba. Because whenever there is, I have any concern, and I look at Baba, and Baba smiles and said, it's not your task, it's my task. You just keep yourself into that Ek Ras. Just remain with just one strength and one support. that it's a kind of reminder, because we start feeling that I can, maybe from this one I can get strength, or this one I can get. So actually, no support, it's all temporary. The real strength and real support really comes from one. So it's very, very important to remind ourselves, but Baba also remind us that, child, if you want that, you have to be like this, So it's very connected. Ek Vrata, Ek Ras, one strength, one support. They all are very, very connected. And I think it's very important. I remember using when I used to go to different countries, when I started traveling, and there was no one I knew much, and I will be staying at different places. So I always lived on one strength and one support, because I always knew that who else, But the foundation definitely is love for one, not only love, but constantly reminding is Baba's task. I am just the helper. I am just the instrument Baba has chosen, but it's Baba's task. So thinking of Baba, love for Baba, but thinking not only as point of light, but his divine acts and almighty, and some of the qualities also should emerge that helps us to take that strength and support from him.
And so the Ek Vrata is the promise, the vow that was made, that he always reminds us of, the purity of that. And then the Ek Bhala and Ek Bharosa is I turn to Baba for that strength and support. And then comes now, and then the Ek Ras, I have to be in the stage, as Sister Mohini is saying. And that stage could be, as you said, I'm the instrument. So an instrument always has to be ever ready. And the instrument always has to be open. And the instrument has to be clean in order for Baba to use. Now, the challenging thing, and I think it's also challenging for you, is the Ek Mat. Now, if I align those three, now comes, well, what does the intellect connect to in terms of a response? How am I going to respond? Because I know since you've been here, you've been in a meeting after a meeting after a meeting after a meeting, and you have been having all these different ideas and opinions and suggestions and recommendations. How do you then discern for the Ek Mat and not the Manmat or the Parmat?
Because there are three things. One is one's own feelings, maybe dictates of mind. Then is Baba, then opinions of others. So one of the major decisions which I have to make, and so internally the feelings could also be based on your health, based on your circumstances or your own capacities. Opinion of others is definitely you can do it, it will be beneficial, Ganesh this and all that. And I look at Baba and say, Baba, what you tell me? Because if you tell me, then you will be my strength and support. So I start going beyond the feelings. I start going beyond who said what. And it could be few people saying, and they are right too. But is it the right time, or I should say yes, or I shouldn't? So definitely say, so I just go in deep silence and just again, Ek Vrata, that means I remembering Baba. And I know that right way Srimad will be understood. Because it's very easy to say I'm following Srimad, but am I able to follow 100% Srimad, or I'm still listening to myself and influence of others. I think that practice again, going to just one, staying with one, and then you hear very clearly, this is the right time, now do this, So, and then strength comes and support comes and it becomes very, very easy.
As you're speaking, I'm feeling myself that I first have to have the Ek Pal, Ek Bharosa. I have to go to Baba first. And then he kind of oil my intellect. The strength and the support comes into the intellect in such a way that the stage of being an instrument, I am able to know exactly what he wants me to do in exactly the moment he wants me to do it. And so isn't it the strength and support has to be first, and then it becomes the discernment in terms of exactly what Shrimat I need to follow and not to follow my own manmat.
Yeah, one has to remind oneself that even if I accept, he's my strength, he's my support. So, because see, even we are very big family, but journey is always personal. And role is everyone's different and everything. So you have to be alone and with one. So that practice is also important because, as you mentioned on that, there are trustees, there are this. And when you are in your new role, you don't have those trustees around. Or I'm just example is that means you have to just be you and Baba, it's not only I have to remind myself that I have to be with Baba. And that is actually mean ekant, be with one to one. It's like that relationship is very important at this time. And I keep looking at myself as, then I say, but if I have to do task, I need co-helpers, I need, because you get so used to. And that is why when I listen in the meeting, I like it. And I know we have to assign everything. But also individually, I have to depend on my discernment. I have to depend on my, again, I and Baba relationship has to be constantly there. And becomes a good habit then.
Yes, and I'm seeing that that's why you become something like a goddess, because ultimately you have to depend on your own arms, your own 8 trustees, which are your own 8 arms, and they don't actually belong to other people. They're your manifestation. But finally, the last question or the last engagement, inquiry, is the word Ekant Priya, which I love very, very much. And I was practicing. I love Baba's drills. Baba's drill space for me is where I go for my safety and protection because he holds me. Those drills hold me, and he holds me in such a way that no one else can. And the one I like very much is become a master and then become a child. So in your role as additional administrative head, you are the master. You are the master that Baba is using as an instrument and the trustee of so many elements. So how do you do this? How do you play the role of a master, but then become the child in your Ekant Priya state? You go into solitude, but you just don't go into solitude. You go into solitude in that loving space of being a child of Baba, that innocent child. I've done as much as I can. I did what I had to do. And now I'm just your child. I'm pure, innocent, and I'm carefree.
Yeah, there are 2 things which, for a while I have been thinking more about that, my personal effort, my stage, and just be innocent. You don't have to be kind of clever or authoritative or anything. Just be a child so that at the right time, any message is required, any direction is required, then be the master. and think in that capacity. And you say, this is what you have to say. And then again, when one becomes a child and say how much it is accepted, how much it is happening, and then accept as a child and then be master again. So yes, it's a playing with both. And it's interesting. It's a lot of introvertedness, lot of connection with Baba. But still one remains very light.
You know, Sister Mohini, in the world, they say each one of us have got to find our sweet spot within. And I always think Ekant Priya is our sweet spot within, the sweet spot of solitude that our mother and father, Baba, or mommy and daddy, or mom and dad, there, and they're holding us and they're saying, look at me, only I can tell you who you are. And you have to believe what I'm saying. Don't believe anyone else. I have your back. I'm going to protect you. So for us to drop all the layers of transactional intellects and mind and just to be with being a child with our mother and father, like Daddy was saying, our mother, Brahma Baba, once he's there holding us, we're all safe. So it's a big thing we have to practice today. And so what would you say, one final word to them that makes it easy?
Victory and success is what Baba has given me as birthright. So as a child, I constantly not only remind myself, and I want to claim that all the time, is victorious for the self and success in the task.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Didi. Thank you all, Avyakti Parivar. I hope you enjoy it and it is made easy for you to practice. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you. So tomorrow is Thursday and our schedule from Amritvela 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. 8:30 a.m. we'll connect to Double Furnace Madhavan online program. There will be a class by Sister Meera. Definition and depth of Karmatit stage. So that's the topic. And in the evening, 5 to 6, English Sakar Murli. Together with that, in breakout room, Avyakt Children Murli class. 6 o'clock, Patti will start, followed by Bhog offering, Hindi series and English series. Now, let's remember Baba and take Drishti from Didi.
अनोखी शक्ति भरती है तुम्हारी
Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.